And don't forget to hit that notification bell, please! Yesterday, when I was putting together my video for the Extinction Rebellion protests in London, it was funny and all that. I got a lot of amusement out of it, but there was something that I couldn't quite put my finger on that was strange about these protests, other than the obvious humor, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, anyway, today I figured I'd do the Extinction Rebellion protests in New York City. So I'm analyzing the videos, and again, I have that same feeling. Something is really, really unusual. And at first, I couldn't figure out what it was, but after viewing for several more minutes, it suddenly hit me. Just as in London, the same thing in New York City, all of the protesters were white people. It was all white people. How does that happen in New York City? How do you have thousands of protesters and they're all white people? It's unbelievable. Now, maybe normally I wouldn't highlight this, but you know, the left gets on its moral high horse all the time, pointing fingers at the right, like, you lack diversity, you don't have diversity. Sorry. You know what? Especially especially for the Trump rally, there's no diversity. It's all white people. Well, I hate to break it to you, left-wingers, but I've been to a Trump rally. I was at one in 2016 here in Fort Lauderdale area, and at the BB&T Center, well, whatever they call it now. I think it's the Panther Stadium. Anyway, guess what? There were other than white people there, believe me. In fact, there was the guy sitting not next to me, but one away from me. He looked like he was Indonesian or something. But here's the deal: the protesters at all of these Extinction Rebellion events were all white people. It's actually pretty astonishing that you can have this happen in New York and every single person is white. So let's take a look at a few more scenes from the Extinction Rebellion protests in New York City. And by the way, you can freeze frame them and analyze them, or any other videos of the New York City Extinction Rebellion protests, and you're going to see the same thing. They're all white people. So let's take a look at a few more scenes of the all-white Extinction Rebellion protests in New York City.
Extinction Rebellion! We need Fox News to tell its criminal inaction!
Climate life
Leads to
people dying.
Tell the truth!
I don't want to be involved. The story of the rich party is roughly changing sidewalks. I can't tell if it's up.
This is what democracy looks like! Tell me what democracy looks like!
Well, it looks like your version of democracy is all white. Okay, let's get back to more of the all-white New York City Extinction Rebellion protests.
Extinction Rebellion! planet is in crisis, and we are in the midst of a mass extinction. Bigger and faster than the one that killed the dinosaurs. Scientists believe we have entered a period of abrupt climate breakdown. Must declare climate and ecological emergencies and must act as if they are emergencies. In recognition of the existential threat that faces us, we ask the Lincoln Center and the New York City Ballet declare a climate and ecological emergency.
Yeah, they had the same type of red-robed trick-or-treaters in London. And also, just like in London, they were all white. And not only that, they emphasized they were all white by putting white paint on their faces that made them appear even whiter than they were. So, again, these are all these protests. I mean, if you want to see all white people, just go to any of these Extinction Rebellion protests. They're as white as a Pete Buttigieg campaign rally. So anyway, I'll see you guys later.